Now CBS 2 brings you the top stories covering the corridor. Today is voter registration day in Iowa. It comes as a national debate heats up on how to prevent voter fraud.
Some states say the solution is legislation that requires voters to show identification at the polls. CBS 2's Brian Scott live in Cedar Falls tonight, where a panel was held to discuss these voter ID laws. Brian.
Well, Tiffany, voter ID has been a very hot topic throughout the state of Iowa as Secretary of State Matt Schultz fights to enact some sort of law. Now, he brought that fight here to UNI tonight as he's pushing to have voters have to show one of these, show their government-issued ID before they can vote. However, some say that would simply cost votes.
Not to mention misinforming.
For some of these students, it's simply a lesson in the voting process. But for others, it's a political passion.
It's extremely easy to vote, under someone else's name. All you need is name, date of birth, and residence, and you can vote for that person.
The question is, how do you do that? The easy answer, require everyone to show an ID at the polls. Secretary of State Matt Schultz is pushing hard for that.
Iowans support it. 76% of Iowans support it, including 60% of Iowa Democrats.
But there'd be no need for this discussion if it were that simple. Many Democrats and members of the panel worry there are other motivations here.
Such laws have a disproportionate impact on African Americans and other minorities. Approximately 25% of African Americans do not have the required government-issued photo IDs.
Some argue it's a form of a poll tax, which makes it tough for poorer populations to be heard. Schultz says free IDs would be available to those folks, but some say it's not worth the risk with very little evidence of fraud in the state.
We're concerned about voters feeling intimidated. That's the bottom line.
But those in favor of voter ID say there's also little evidence of that. For now, the debate, from experts to passionate students, is left to rage on. Now, currently, Schultz's push to get voter ID laws in the state of Iowa is held up in the court system as a judge is waiting to rule on that. We definitely won't see any new laws in effect before early voting begins this Thursday. In Cedar Falls, Brian Scott, CBS 2 News.